Your nickname, everyone calls you Crutch.
Oh my
And
goodness!
you're over here on a scooter.
I
You
had
can't
crutches.
get your
I elevated to the scooter, so I'm still no weight bearing for a while.
Oh, you could. It was.
It's been good. It's been fun. It's been fun. It's just awkward sometimes. Certain places, it ain't bad. You ever use one? You ever use one?
Never,
Oh,
never. You have before. It sounds like
no. This is my first one. First one, but you get around fast. You get around.
My wife broke her ankle about 4 years ago. And the only experience I have on the scooter is that I used to ride that thing around the house because it's fun.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah,
you get on a flat surface now. You're on a flat surface.
You can get going. How you doing, man? How's your team looking? How you feeling about it?
You know what? I really like this group just because we're older. Man, we got some experience. We got four seniors and 5 juniors on our roster. We never had that before. And as you know, in this league, if you're older and experienced, that kind of wins out sometimes. So hopefully we have a chance to compete in the top half of the league. So that's where we're at. But I like some of the pieces that we added. I really do. I think we gotten bigger and stronger, got some girth, upgraded at our guard spot. So and we're moving in the right direction. Going into year 3, I'm excited just because of the experience more so than anything. It's been easier because when you implement things, the guys pick it up faster. I mean, you can move along faster. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Life without Frankie,
different.
Will be different.
No doubt.
I mean, he was a hell of a player. You know that. I mean, he wouldn't be at Michigan State if he wasn't a hell of a player, right?
Yeah.
What have you changed in maybe adapting to your personnel?
Really happy for Frankie. I mean, great opportunity for him to go play for somebody like Tom Izzo. Unbelievable job. And he wanted to that experience. He wanted to know what that was like. And we had a lot of conversations about it. So we still talk. He loved where he's at.
When he first came in and he was like, hey, coach, I'm going to put my name in the portal here. And we didn't know at that point, we didn't know what the money was, Crutch. When he put his name in the portal,
no doubt,
the money wasn't a year ago what it was this past offseason.
No, I put on my recruiting hat. Of course, I tried to talk him out of it. And we tried to come up with some resources for him. We couldn't match what that was. But I thought if he had came back, he would probably have been preseason player of the year. We would be probably be picked higher in the league, no doubt about it, because he's an impact type of guy. But I told him, I said, I've been at that level, and it's fun, and it's a great experience for you. So if you have a chance to go, have fun, do it, and we're happy for him. But we've been able to fill those spots that he left, man. We picked up a kid by the name of Cam Thomas, who's a junior college All-American who can really score, and we've been happy with him in our fall camp. Lance Waddles, who transferred from North Dakota State, like he's been an unbelievable surprise, man. A guy that played a role, with the Bison. Now he's going to be able to have a bigger role with us, and he's older, more experienced, and no doubt about it. And we picked up some bigs and that we're really, really excited about. So we need to improve that area. Yeah.
When you lose a guy like Frankie, I'm always curious how you kind of view, because part of why you get into coaching, and I think everybody is like this, is you want to put these kids, especially at the college level, these kids at the best opportunity to succeed in life and help them get to reach their dreams and reach those opportunities. Ideally, that would be like Frankie going to the NBA after winning a league championship at Omaha, right? But the way that it's set up, that might also be the most money he ever makes at Michigan State this year as a player. So, I know he's going to a different level and he's leaving the program, but I guess my question is, how conflicted are you when it comes to a situation like that? Or
Not at all.
Not at all.
Because we're happy for the kids in our program. We're player first program, so we're happy for Frankie. I mean, our whole staff was elated. I mean, he got down to a couple other schools, and we was like, "Hey, man, this is great. This is a great problem to have." But he was really nervous, had a lot of anxiety, and we talked every single day. This is the guy who put his name in the portal. 2 weeks go by, he's floating around with all these schools, but he's in our gym every day, in our office every day.
So he didn't want to leave, but it's like that opportunity.
Didn't leave. He didn't leave. Yeah. Finally, we're like, Frankie, we can't work you out anymore, man. But he was fun.
Go to East Lansing, Frank.
Hey, he goes to East Lansing. He come home for a break. Guess where he comes? He comes to the gym. Comes to hang out with his old teammates and the coaching staff,
listen, life's changed. We know that.
Yeah.
The whole world's changed since you got into it, since I got into it. But, again, it's one of those things where if you put yourself in that kid's shoes, probably make the same decision.
No doubt. If I had a son, I would have told him to do the same thing.
Exactly.
Go get that experience out the way.
Yep.
So,
and you're playing for a pretty good coach.
Hall of Famer.
Right, exactly. The good thing is you bring back 3 guys that played key roles last year. So it's not you're bringing in a bunch of new dudes.
Right.
But I've said this. Like, as long as you bring back 3 or 4 guys of your top 8, I think you feel pretty good about where you're at these days. Not back in 2005 or even 2015, but in 2024.
Yep.
You bring back 3 or 4 guys, you feel pretty good.
I do. Like Marquel Sutton, Tony Osburn, who you guys will talk to probably later. Then we got J.J. White, who played a lot of games for us over the last 2 years. Those guys were all in the first recruiting class when I got the job. So they've been with me. They know me. Then we added some older veteran guys to that bunch. We got 7 new guys, 7 new ones, but they all have experience. And so that's what I'm really excited about. And those guys have been great.
How many freshmen are on this team?
2. One's a walk-on and one's not. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? I mean, think about that.
Yep.
You have 1 scholarship freshman.
No doubt.
If I had told you that when you got the job, you would have said I was crazy a couple of years ago.
I probably would have because I hadn't digested the transfer portal yet. Coming from Oregon where we lived in the transfer portal. And I got here, I didn't want to do it because I want to try to establish a program. I didn't think you could do it with 1-year guys. So we took junior college guys with 3 years. We took high school kids. And now I find myself moving in the other direction, which is really, really satisfying because, the transition with those older kids is unbelievable. Our practices have moved so much faster. We've been able to put so much more stuff in this time of the year.
Is that also because you think part of it is that you have less time also as a head coach these days that, people, you got to win now. You got to win now. So it's almost like you might want to still stay with that freshman model, but you feel like there's pressure on you. And I'm not saying just you, but coaches in general now that you better win right away.
I think so. The leash is shorter just because it is just not in sports. It's all across the board. In corporations, people want things to happen faster. That's just where we are in this microwave society that we're in. And I'm lucky because I got a great AD. I have a great chancellor who really, really gets it and understands our basketball program could be the front porch to that university, and they're supporting me 100%. And but I think as for me, as I get older, I think moving towards having an older team makes me feel better. I sleep better at night knowing that I don't have to worry about so many other things, and we don't have to repeat so many different drills like I did in year 1 compared to where I'm at now in year 3.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I don't think fans realize that if you have a team with 6 or 7 guys coming back, right, and you're going to go in there and you're going to try to install your offense, your players can go out there. You put that first 5 out, those returners, they go run it, and the other guys figure it out.
They can do it.
They're probably running it in the offseason in captain's practice.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt.
And when you got a whole bunch of new guys, you got to explain it to them. It's
over.
You're supposed to go here. No, you messed that up. No, you got to study your playbook. No, you got to go sit the bench. I know we brought you in to start at the point, but if you can't figure out our offense, it's hard.
Very frustrating time when you got a young team. And I was talking to Hindu the other day. He has a young team, and his first time in a while since he's had a really young team. So he said, Crutch, he don't have any hair right now, but I'm losing it as I go.
All right, so talk to me about these 2 guys that we got coming up. We got Tony and we got Marquel. We're going to hear from them in about 5 minutes. Where have you seen them grown and kind of, I guess, especially with Marquel, what is your expectation on him? He's the guy, I think he's a preseason, is he first or second team? Second team.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be the first name on that scout report.
Right.
Where do you expect him to grow, and how is he going to handle that?
The biggest part for him is being able to play with confidence, and my job is to instill that in him where he keeps it. Bad game, good game, average game, your confidence don't sway at all. That's been a problem with him in the past. Now we worked with him all fall camp and expanding his shooting range to 3. And he's been unbelievable doing that. And he's gotten bigger and stronger. Again, you look at his body, he's bigger, he's stronger. He's always been a good athlete. Now we want him to kind of turn into a big guard, so to speak, because as a 4, you have to be able to space the floor and shoot the basketball, right? Just not enough space out there because with the bigs that we do have, we need them to be able to take up that paint. So he's been working on shooting the ball, working on his ball handling. It's funny because he spent all summer in a sling, because he had surgery on his elbow. So he gets back in the fall camp, then he rolls his ankle. So he's been out for a little bit. He's just been back for a week. But he's been out, but he's worked his butt off in improving his jump shot. And with Tony just being more consistent, being able to put the ball on the floor, being able to play off a shot fake because he's such a really, really good shooter. And we talked to him about being able to just be a little bit more dynamic in the way you manipulate defenders and how you get open, how you create space to get shots.
So you talked about Josh earlier being one of those big. You loaded up with bigs.
Yes.
Loaded up with them. How do you see that? How you're going to play with those guys? Is it 2-3 guys fighting for one spot? Because you brought in a few other guys as well.
Well, Josh Gray came from North Dakota State. Then we picked up Isaac Okande from Lindenwood, who's 6'9", 275, and he's a load. The freshman Pablo Samare is 6'8", 275, 265, and they're big, wide-body guys, and we plan on playing all three of them. And because I think
where is your team stand?
No doubt about it. We're going to try to be physical and try to keep people out of our paint. We're going to post up. We're going to throw the ball inside a little bit more. School. I think you win that way. I think you win that way.
The only problem I have with that is that the big guy on their staff is Cayenne Brown.
They're going to beat him up. They're going to beat him up.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's going to work.
Well, it's just you figure if you want a big guy out there, you want to coach it like it was actually a good big guy, right?
You say that. I just remember years ago watching Steve Wojciechowski coaching the bigs at Duke.
Right.
Like, what? How does this work? Right? Sometimes you don't have to be Danny Manning to coach the bigs.
Well, good. They don't have Danny Manning. They have Cayenne Brown.
Hey, Cayenne, I hope you're watching this because he just hated on you now. You got to get that pad out. Get that pad out and get ready.
Hey, stick to the Traeger, all right? Keep out of the paint. No, I love KB.
Yeah.
What's the I won't end with this because, okay, you guys are ready. What is the one thing that's got to happen for you guys this year for us to look up in February and Omaha is right there, first place, second place, competing for the Summit League regular season?
I think consistent three-point shooting, and I think being able to keep people out of our paint defensively.
You should be able to do that.
No doubt.
Out of the paint.
No doubt.
I think
it's hard to do.
I think you've addressed that.
Yes,
right?
we have.
He just texted me.
Good.
When are you done with the scooter?
I'm still weight bearing. I go to the doctor on Thursday, and it's been 2 weeks. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks. So Thursday, doctor appointment. Hopefully, I get some good news and I can start walking. Oh my goodness, that's a good one. Rob, you done lit him up now. He's gonna go get in the gym right now.
Yeah, there he is. All right, listen.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you being here, man. Be safe getting down those stairs.
I will. I appreciate you guys being here. This is big for our league.
Be careful on that scooter. I know you're going to have some fun trying to fly around here.
I'm going to go really slow.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
That's what you say when you're behind the wheel, too. I'm going to go really slow. I won't get any speeding tickets.
Yeah, no,
we'll talk about that later.
No more of those.
Crutch, appreciate you, man. We have Tony Osburn. We have Marquel Sutton. We have the stars of the Omaha program coming up here next. And we'll be joined by them. Then we have South Dakota State coming up to close it out. And we will be joined by, let me make sure I got that right, Eric Henderson, Oscar Clough, and Kaylin Gary.
How are you? Good.
Tony, how you doing? We are live. Those mics are hot.
Can't say anything crazy.
Well, you can just
okay.
know what's going on. We just spent the last 2 minutes making fun of Cayenne Brown on here. So
that's my guy. I'm sure he's watching, so I might have to take a couple jabs at him too.
Yeah, he did. I got the triple birds, the triple bird emojis.
That sounds a little bit like him.
Yeah. All right, Tony, talk to me about just a little bit about how you're kind of adjusted as a team when you lose a player as good as Frankie. Other guys are going to have to step up bigger roles. There's more shots available. There's more possessions available offensively. He's like, I'm going to get these shots off.
Yeah, you don't replace a guy like that with one guy, and that's just the reality of it. You got to replace him with the group, and this is kind of what college basketball used to be. Guys kind of wait around for a bigger role, and some guys move up, and that's kind of what we hope to do. And I think, the biggest thing is we want to win. We're older, we're mature, and, we realize the winning is the main goal. So I think that's the biggest thing, and just really all being focused on that main goal instead of worrying about the uncertainties of scoring and who's going to be the biggest role on the team. So
is it crazy, Marquel, coming up here after something else over there? Is it crazy, the turnover? I mean, again, you guys had like 3 guys back and then a bunch of new faces. But you probably didn't know any of them.
We lost a few pieces. Frankie's a big piece. I think we kind of filled that void, adding new offensive pieces. We bringing back experience, 3 starters, me, Tony, JJ. So we're an older team, so I feel like that's going to help.
Are you healthy? You had that elbow thing.
Yeah, I'm
you rolled an ankle.
Yeah, we heard. It's been a rough off season.
Yeah,
right?
it was. Yeah,
How long were you out for?
The elbow, like 2 months. My ankle, like 17 days. I just got back like last week.
Yeah.
Did you have one of those cool scooters like your coach does?
No, I just had a boot.
Yeah, you're not fancy enough.
He's a senior. He didn't want to go through all the offseason
Yeah.
stuff. So, right?
That's the vet moves right there.
Total vet move.
Who's kind of impressed you in terms of the newcomers? Who's come in and been like, oh, he's going to give us some minutes?
Yeah, Lance Waddles from North Dakota State. He's one of our transfers, and we would watch him on the scout, and you'd be impressed by him. But he had hit a limited role, and they had great guards at North Dakota State, so that's a tough spot. But he came in and he fills it up. He can shoot, he can dribble, he can make plays for other people. He's smart, he's old, he's been a part of it. So him, and then Cam Thomas, he comes to Hutch. He was All-American there, and he's kind of a quiet kid, and sometimes you might judge that those dudes might not care as much, and then we step on the floor and the switch flips, and he's all about winning, and he gets it too. So I think those are my two that are really I've been impressed by so far.
Marquel, Coach talked about it a little bit about expanding your role a little bit, being able to step out, do a little bit more away from the basket this year than even you've been able to do so far. How have you been able to do that when you've been out as long as you have over the offseason?
Well, before I got the surgery, I was doing the most I can with my elbow. I really couldn't shoot because my elbow was messed up. Yeah. So I was still shooting like on the boot, nothing crazy. Yeah. I was still in the gym, working on my shot, watching film with coaches.
More spacing for the team. I mean, it sounds like he brought in some enforcers, some 5-men who can really protect the rim, who will rebound. A lot of guys talk about, and Crutch is a little bit old school, certainly, they get these 5-men that are more pick and pop 5s. And he almost sounded like, hey, I'm going to go old school with my 5-men. They're going to be tough. They're going to protect the rim. They're going to rebound. They're going to finish.
Oh, yeah, they beefed up for sure down there. Yeah, we got some insides. It's going to help us defend the paint. They're really good. I like Josh's game. He's a smart player. Yeah. He can pass the ball. Pablo's really good at blocking shots. Ike's good at scoring. Yeah. So, yeah.
In Markel's head, what he's saying is that's because I'm a 3. When Marquel, when this offseason kind of came around, like we saw the recruitment that Frankie got, and I'm sure there were people that reached out to you at some point, either directly to you or to coaches or family members or however all that stuff works. And you decided to come back to Omaha. What is it about this program, maybe the staff, maybe Cayenne Brown's ability to get on that Traeger and smoke up some ribs, whatever it is? Like, how have you been able to why are you back, I guess?
It's just the staff. I love them, man. I've been here for 3 years with them. They was the first, school that really, wanted me. They made me feel like I was at home. They got ties with Tulsa. He was at ORU, Crutchfield at OU. So was Coach Brown and Coach Niles. So I feel like just the coaches, for real.
Mm-hmm. Tony, I'm a city guy.
Okay.
All right, I'm a city guy. We went to Kansas State last week, and we went to a cattle auction.
Yep.
All right. You lived, right? You grew up on a farm.
Yep.
All right. Take me through this a little bit. Take me through life living on a farm.
Yeah. So, I mean, growing up on a farm, that's kind of all you know. And, a lot of those kids I grew up with don't know anything else. My parents did a great job of, getting me to play basketball in St. Joe. And, that at the time, that's a big city to me. And that's a lot of my best friends are from St. Joe and Kansas City because of playing basketball. And, my friends kind of I loved playing high school basketball with those guys. And I mean, it was a blast. And, they're all of them going farm, or one of them trucks, 40 hours just in 2 days. That's all he'll do is work. And, my dad told me, the farm is always going to be here for you. If that's what you want to do, go play basketball. So, I'm glad I had that opportunity. And, one day my plan is to go take over the farm and do that. So that I'm living this dream as long as I can.
You miss it?
Yeah, no, I miss it. It's only about an hour and a half from Omaha, so I go home every once in a while. But I love being able to sleep in on Sundays instead of having to wake up and help a little bit.
What was the normal Sunday when you were home?
It just depended kind of what it was. There's definitely times where I was cleaning the trailer out and it's all cow poop and it's awful. I'd rather just go and watch NFL all day, but sometimes I had to do stuff like that. But in Omaha, it's kind of up to me, so that's a good thing.
Cool. What was the what were you guys growing? What was the crop?
We corn and soybeans, and my dad, he coached me in high school basketball. It's typical small town. Thanks. And he would have about 100 cows, and then we'd start basketball, and he'd sell some of them and get down to it. So those are the three things we have. So
yeah, the money was at that cattle auction that we were at. They were selling some of those cows for like $90,000.
Yeah, that might be a little nicer than what he's doing, but every once in a while he'll make some questionable decisions and sell them too late.
I thought about buying one.
Yeah. $5,000. There was one for $5,000. I was like, I don't know what I'll do with it. Where am I gonna put it?
Marquel, it was crazy, man. Like how if you look at like a scouting report for a player to say like they can shoot, they can do this, versatile, do this. It was like they had the scouting reports for the cows. It was like top 9% for milk production, has had 2 calves, could do this. Is like the height, the weight, the fat. Like I was like, what is this?
Well, we wanted to I felt
it's like their rivals page for cows. What they had.
People are bidding and whatever, but I wanted to ask him like, what does all this mean? Like, how are you differentiating?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it again.
Were you ready to come on here and talk about catalog?
I figured there'd be a couple farm questions, so I was prepared a little bit.
Think, to me, it's so cool. It's so cool, and again, it's part of the thing. Growing up in Boston, you come out, you come out to a different part of the country, and for me, that's one of the things you want to learn. You want to, different types of how you grew up differently.
Right. I got one more question for each of you. I want you to give your scouting report on Marquel and what the next step for him is and where you want to see him get better. And Marquel, I want you to do the same thing for Tony.
Yep. I think Marquel has taken a big step in leadership, especially this summer, not being able to do stuff. I think it is big for him to kind of take that step to the side and just see things. And I think he sees that where we need him at when we were playing without him. And, the things he can do is he's an incredible one-dribble mid-range shooter, and nobody can contest it because he's, 6'9", he's got long arms, stuff like that, and his three-point jumper, it looks really good. And, I think he uses it as he's getting a little older, he's becoming a little veteran, but he can still jump out of the gym. It's just, there's times he turns it on. Yeah, I mean, he can do anything, and, those first 2 years he had to play the 5 a little bit. We had problems with that. So I think that maybe even helped him just becoming more physical. So, he's a killer. I think, I imagine he's going to be on the first team all conference list. I'm going to toot his own horn. They're all great players on there, but I think that's something he can absolutely do.
I would say his maturity, he grew from last year. I know when I was out this summer, he was with the team on the court. He talking. I hear him the most. He's leading out there. He's a great shooter. He works at it like every single day. I see him in there all the time. The grind just doesn't stop with him. He's a great person, and yeah.
All right, well, guys, we appreciate you being here. Best of luck this season, all right?
Yep. Thank you very much.
Advice, anything?
Yeah,
Okay.
break down cow scouting reports.
Absolutely, I'll be ready.
Appreciate you, man. Best of luck this season.